Hi everybody, welcome to our group. My name is Deidre Frable. Kate is my sister. I know she kind of introduced me on her video this morning. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my story and where I started and kind of my journey as a coach. Because the main reason that we wanted to do this is because our stories are a lot different, and we just wanted to show that really there's no right way to start or to get started. It's really bright on my face, sorry. Okay, so kind of a flashback. I've been what they call the yo-yo dieter. If you've never heard of that expression, my husband actually filled me in on what it was a couple years after we were married. He was like, you know, you're called a yo-yo dieter. Basically what that means is you go all in, completely consumed. My diet was starving myself. I literally would just like live off of a thing of peanut butter crackers in a diet, Big Red. Like that's what I ate all day. And you know, I would do that for like an event that I had, a wedding or whatever, to fit into whatever I was wanting to fit into. Of course, that came along with really bad mood, hungry, tired. And then the day after the event was over, I would like basically be binge eating because I was starving. And then I always had this tummy bloat. I, just did that for years. So my metabolism was constantly high, low, high, low, high, low. I do not exercise. Like I hate exercising. I didn't play sports. In high school, I was a cheerleader, but I mean that really, I did not like work out to be a cheerleader, or lift weights or anything like that. I did not run. Actually, when I was supposed to run in high school, like for golf, first I think I played golf one year. We cheated every time they told us to run. So I am like the complete opposite of Kate. Like she did the diet pill route, but she always worked out, and she was always that muscular person, not me. Like I have always been considered to be soft, and on the outside, people thought, I was healthy, but they had no idea what I was doing to myself. Okay, so married a couple 2 years, and we want to have a baby. So start trying to have a baby, and no luck, no luck, no luck. After a year, I start the whole testing process. What could be wrong? They don't really find anything, and so they decided to do Clomid, which I was fine with. It's a fertility drug. The dosage that I took was very low to have multiple, so I was fine with that. And we were thankfully got pregnant after the first round. I pretty much went crazy when I was pregnant. I gained 65 pounds. I'm 5'2", so you can imagine that was not healthy at all. And I was on bed rest the last 3 months. So basically my body was like, I couldn't control the bed rest, but it was horrible. There was no physical activity. Plus, I had gained 65 pounds. I could barely walk across our house. I would be so out of breath. And pretty much after I delivered, it was like the lowest time. Here I was supposed to have this newborn, which, just the love of your life, and you're miserable, completely miserable. So I did the thing that I knew how to do, which was starve myself. And I did get my baby weight off. It took me probably about a year. Got my baby weight off, but I was completely miserable. I was not a fun person to be around, probably. I also went back to work, so I was miserable. I was crying every day. Looking back now, I thought I was crying every day because I didn't want to be working, which I'm sure had a lot to do with it. But also, I was completely neglecting my health, which should be, the thing that we put most, first and foremost. So try to get pregnant again. We want to have another baby, and same thing. Cannot get pregnant, cannot get pregnant. I instantly go back to the doctor just because we already had issues the first time. So he had already said, he would put me straight back on the medicine. It did not work. We did 5 rounds of Clomid. We did 3. We then, at that point, moved to a fertility specialist clinic. They did a whole new round of testing, and I found out that I have PCOS. And so many things clicked when he finally told me this, and I was actually so relieved to know that there was a problem. And when you research PCOS, what he told me was I didn't exactly look the part of a person with PCOS. But I have always struggled with, the weight gain in my stomach. And then, I don't have cycles. I didn't have cycles, which is a big red flag for PCOS, but I had never been actually told this. So we ended up doing 3 IUIs at the fertility clinic, and then the next step forward was in vitro. And we have sets of twins on both sides of our family that came from in vitro, and I think that is a wonderful thing. But we weren't there yet. Like, we were just didn't feel ready to do that yet. So we decided to take a little break. And I think that at this point is when God intervened and pretty much said, if you don't start taking care of yourself, things are going to happen. And a friend of mine actually mentioned paleo and pregnancy. So I, started reading about it, and it's amazing for people with PCOS, and it takes out all the inflammation out of your system, which is causing you to not be able to get pregnant. And so my husband and I read all about it on a Sunday night and literally started the next day, cold turkey. And I gave myself a 6-month timeline. I talked to my doctor about it also, and we decided 6 months was a good time. And then we would do in vitro at that point if this didn't work. And after 3 months, I got pregnant. And we didn't tell anybody. We were scared to death. I just couldn't believe I could get pregnant on my own. Went to the doctor, and he honestly could not believe I got pregnant on my own. He actually asked me if I went to a different doctor, but kind of was like a huge wake-up call that if you take care of yourself, things can happen. And so throughout the pregnancy with Asher, I knew in my mind that I needed to be eating right, but you're pregnant and you're having cravings and everything else, and I didn't actually learn anything with paleo. I went all in. I was a lunatic because I was so meticulous about what I was eating and not eating, and so much focus went into that I had no balance at all. If I would cheat or allow myself a little something that wasn't paleo, I would cry for days because I would feel the guilt that I would be preventing a pregnancy. I mean, it was insane. It was not a way to live, and I definitely don't recommend, that it just was not fun. Okay, so go through my pregnancy. I ended up gaining about 55 pounds. Not the 65 that was with Bowen, but definitely way too much. And after I had Asher, it was really hard. Bowen was 3, and here was this newborn. He had reflux and colic. He wouldn't sleep day or night. He cried and cried and screamed, and it was the hardest thing we've ever gone through. And then Brian would go to work, and I'd be home all day and just exhausted. I couldn't do anything. Plus, I had gained 55 pounds. I was miserable with myself. None of my clothes fit. I knew that paleo worked and that I could lose weight doing paleo, but I just didn't have the energy to cook 3 meals a day, to, have my kitchen stocked at all times. I just didn't have the energy. So, insert Beachbody. Caitlin and my husband and our aunt had been doing Shakeology and programs since that January. I honestly never even looked into it while I was pregnant because I just thought it wasn't healthy enough to eat, drink when I was pregnant. So after I had Asher, Caitlin came over and she's like, I really want you to do Shakeology. You'll feel so much better. And I just didn't want to do it. She talked to me every day, literally for weeks, actually about a month. And finally, when Asher was about a month and I was like at the point of crying every day, she was like, you have got to do this. Like, why aren't you doing this? Um, and I think the reason why is I had always been that person that could figure it out on my own. Like, I could just starve myself on my own and it would work. But back in those days when I was doing that, I didn't have kids. And if I didn't have energy or whatever, it didn't affect their survival as well. Um, so I was this not fun mom, and I think that's another thing that was just completely devastating me. I didn't want to do anything, fun or whatever with Bowen, and he was 3, and I was getting to be home, which I'd always wanted, and it was just like the stress of that, and then being miserable with yourself. It was just a lot. So when Asher was 5 weeks old, I decided I was going to research about Shakeology, and I talked to paleo people that I had met when I was trying to get pregnant. I researched the ingredients. I talked to a few of my friends that are super holistic, and they are like completely organic. And I showed them the ingredient list, and to my surprise, everything checked out. I mean, it was like crazy that how clean and healthy this shake is. And even my paleo friends were like, yes, technically it checks out. So I'm like, okay, I could handle cooking a little breakfast. I could drink my shake for lunch. And then at night, we would have dinner. Brian could help me cook, or I could cook. And that's really basically only cooking one meal, because breakfast you can make really simple. I'm like, okay, maybe I can do this. So I decided to, jump in and do it with 21 Day Fix. And I was not released to exercise, but, that's okay, because 21 Day Fix focuses so much on the food that you're eating, and the portion sizes that you're eating, and it breaks it all down into these food groups for you, and it just teaches you so much about food and balance. Like, it tells you how many, you can have carbs, you can have chocolate, you can have wine. You just can't, go crazy on those things every day. And so, going through the program and looking at this and like, okay, this is really doable. I mean, even for this person who has a 5-week-old and a 3-year-old, like, I could do this. And, she had been coaching since March, I think. And she's like, and I really want you to sign up to coach. And we had actually been talking about this for a couple months since she signed up. Brian and I were actually very negative towards her when she signed up. I'm sad to say. We just kind of thought it was a scam and just didn't see how it could be real. But then we got to watch her. She was the guinea pig, and just seeing her transformation, not only in her weight loss, her confidence, like here she was bringing in an income that she technically didn't even need because she was working a full-time job, but here she had this extra money. She was helping others. Like, I remember picking the garden, and that was kind of our time to talk, and she would just tell me about people that, had lost this and this weight and this, and just how amazing that was, and the challenge groups. And so I was like, she wanted me to jump in and coach, but I was so super scared because, I wasn't the fitness person, and I'm not the person that exercises, and I had never been that person before, and I didn't have an after picture. Like, I was going to start on day 1. Anyway, everybody convinced me, and so I did. I signed up cold turkey with a challenge pack. I bought 21 Day Fix and Shakeology and signed up as a coach at the same time, so my sign-up fee was free. And I literally posted, I let Caitlin take a picture of me 5 weeks after I delivered Asher and looking completely horrible. I still needed to lose probably about 35 pounds. and I had on shorts and a tank top. I stood against the wall in my mom's house, let her take a picture of me, completely mortified that that's what I look like, and I posted it on my Facebook page. And I just told people, you know what? I've got to make big changes. And I've been watching my sister and I've been watching my husband, and they love this stuff, and I want to be happy in my skin. I want to get off this baby weight. I need accountability. I'm going to post on Facebook for accountability. If you want to join in with me, I'd love it. If not, that's fine. And the positive response that I got, I think, just for being so real, and that, I mean, if you're going to put a before picture of yourself on the internet, I mean, that takes courage and guts. Looking back, I cannot believe I did it, but I did it, and that was day one for me. So the accountability that came with being a coach was just, I mean, I had put it out there, and then I had to do it. So my program comes in, my shake comes in, and I started, and I lost all of my baby weight within 3 months, I think. I did that all without working out. I actually had a lot of complications with delivery, so I didn't get to work out for a while, and then I ended up having to have a D&C even afterward. So I just nutrition-wise lost all of my baby weight, 55 pounds. And then once I was released, I started using the modifier on 21 Day Fix and started getting stronger. And the whole time that I was doing this, I was posting about it and I was sharing about it. So my biggest reason for starting as a coach was that, just being so desperate, needing something. But honestly, my coaching story really is so much more money-wise for me. So I was a teacher before, and when we decided to quit, my husband was going to be, we were going to be a single income family. And, my husband has a good job, but when you're a family with one income, you're going to have sacrifices, and we were okay with that because I really wanted to be home. Like the whole year I taught, when Bowen was a baby, I cried, like I said. So, here I was wanting to buy these shakes, and I didn't have $130 a month to put towards myself. Like, I just felt really selfish as a mom wanting to do that. And so, the coaching option allows you discounts. It also allows you to earn that money back that will pay for your shakes just by sharing your story. So, needless to say, I didn't really have a choice. I had to jump all in. I had to post that before picture. I had to start and share my journey every day and show the food that I was eating. And I talked about what I was doing, but I got a response from that. I got followers from that. I had people that were going through the same things that wanted to join me. And my income started getting higher. And, as I've gone through, now I am a 5-star diamond elite coach for 2015, which is like such a huge accomplishment that I'm so proud of my team. And, basically, like, the thing with coaching is that, we all start for these reasons, and our reasons change throughout. But for me, now that I can provide a full-time income, being at home, making way more than I did teaching, where I was gone, where I was missing out on my kids. Now I'm home, doing what I was going to do anyway, what I needed to do anyway. I needed to get myself healthy. Our kids are so much healthier now because we eat better. They see what we eat. They want to eat what we eat. Brian loves the programs. He's done almost all of the programs as well. We've done Insanity Max 30 and 21 Day Fix Extreme, 21 Day Fix, Body Beast. He's doing Hammer and Chisel right now. And the thing that we love about Beachbody is that there's something for everybody, and we have definitely found that, and we have just fallen in love with this company, with the opportunities. So thank you for listening. I'm sorry for this is kind of long. But, you know, for those of you out there or that are in this group listening and you are the stay-at-home mom and you have told me or told Kate that you don't have the money to start up for this, like, I relate to that 100% because I didn't either. And if I wouldn't have sold to those first 3 people my first month, like, I wouldn't have had the money to pay for it in month 2. So, you know, you can do it, and it's so fun, and it's like just this whole journey that you get to go through, and we want that for everyone. Like, our goal now as coaches is to pass the torch, pass it on. Like, we want to show you how to do it. We have trainings, and we're going to get to all of that this week in our group. But just wanted to tell you where it came from in my story, and if you have any questions, I don't mind answering anything. I usually have quite a few questions about the infertility process, and I'm an open book, so if you do have questions about that, just shoot me a message, and I would love to chat with you. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will be posting the welcome video to start off our official 4-day glimpse into coaching group in the morning. Have a good day.